This is Matthew Hatchett, a.k.a. Hatch, and you are now listening to the One Bar and Lupagus Show.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about 5 Vikings, 5 of them that very well could have played their last snap as a Minnesota Viking. Very, very depressing, but at the same point, very exciting.
Yeah, their career in purple may already be over, and they don't know it yet, but we do. We have the inside source. We know that their career in purple is over.
I'd say it's more of a hunch, more of a guess, and also happy Father's Day, all those fathers out there.
Hell yeah, way to finish.
Yeah, way to finish. All right, let's hop right into this. Remember, subscribe, like the videos here every damn day talking Vikings. And let's start this list off on the defensive side of the ball where the Vikings have just absolutely loaded up this offseason. We're starting with defensive tackle Hercules Mataafa.
Yeah, here's the guy. I think just, Michael Pierce coming back. You bring in Sheldon Richardson. You got Jalen Twyman, too, to compete. I just don't see a spot for Hercules Mataafa on this roster. And he's a guy, too, where when he was given the chance, he just did not flourish. He was a great preseason player. We were all excited about Hercules, and he's got the balls. I give this guy credit. He's not he hasn't had great numbers, and he gets cut and he puts some clown face up on Twitter, gets kind of a little bit of buzz there. But I just don't see a spot for him. So I think he has played his last snap in purple.
Yeah, Mataafa, fantastic name. Love them coming out of college. The big thing was him injury in college, made him go undrafted, whatever. But yeah, ain't happening. The depth is just too much there. We released him last year. He didn't really get many sniffs. We ended up bringing him back. So I think Hercules, unfortunately, unless he just blows shit up, is done with the Vikings.
Hercules.
Uphill battle, as they say. Let's swing over to the offensive side of the ball, or let's call it the special team side of the ball. Dan Cena, the undrafted free agent who surprisingly made the squad last year and was in the right spot at the right time. Sometimes just didn't make that play.
Yeah, you go ahead and you can carry this one.
This is pretty easy. He doesn't offer anything as a wide receiver. His big thing was special teams. You know what? Maybe this offseason he really worked on his gunning ability. But this team's looking, the moves they made, they're all in this year, and Dan Cena doesn't really have a spot at the table, as they say.
Yeah, I don't see it. They kept him as a special teams ace last year. He was not a special teams ace. He was a special teams ass. He just didn't make any plays. And if you're going to keep a guy for that role, he's got to produce. He's got to be like a Matthew Slater from the Patriots. He wasn't anything close to that. They got more depth at wide receiver now. You got Smith Marset. You got these young undrafted guys, Wap Filer. Was it Marvin Mitchell? Something Mitchell.
That's Myron, sir. Have some respect.
Myron Mitchell. So it's a lot more competition now. Dan Cena having that role again next year, I don't think it's going to happen at all.
We'll see, but he's got as they say, an uphill battle.
I think I've already heard that once before.
I'm going to say this every single player. Next up is a guy that we do not agree on, and I'm going back to the defensive tackle spot. I'm going Armond Watts, 6th rounder. He's kind of been that guy like, oh man, maybe this is our 3 technique. Maybe this is the secret weapon we get in round 6. He's a steal. But when you really look at it, this guy, even last year, the last 2 years, our defensive tackle depth has been absolute dog shit, and he can barely see the field. When he does see the field, he really has done much of nothing. You got to look at the depth again. Like we said, for Hercules Mataafa, you look at a Twyman. Why wouldn't you keep a Twyman over our Armond Watts? I just don't see it. I think he's had his chances. He's never done anything. And unfortunately, I think Armond Watts might be done.
Here's the thing with Armond Watts. This is why I disagree. This guy can play the nose. He can be a run stuffer. He can be a penetrator. You said he hasn't done much. He's got 2.5 career sacks, playing in spot duty.
I apologize.
He's got a couple of swatted passes down. Wow. I like Armond Watts. I think he's a versatile player. You can plug him in. You can, maybe he can be a backup to Michael Pierce and also be a backup to Delvin Tomlinson, Sheldon Richardson, whatever. I think there's a spot on the team for him, and I think he will make the team. So I think his career in purple is just beginning. It's a downhill battle for him.
I think when you look at potential or ceiling, even a James Lynch who couldn't even get a sniff of the field last year, I think he has a better opportunity there. And I think Twyman, it's going to come down to Twyman and Watts, and I think Twyman would actually get the spot. Sorry.
Would you rather take a sniff of an unshowered James Lynch or me?
James Lynch. Easy peasy. Easiest
Let's
question ever.
let's go with another one we don't agree on. I'm gonna go with Jaylen Holmes. This guy, the Vikings have tried him a D tackle, tried him a D end. The results are the same. He doesn't produce. He doesn't do anything. I don't see a spot for him on this team. They're way deeper in the D line this year. To me, Jaylen Holmes, I would rather keep Armond Watts over Jaylen Holmes. If you're going to keep 8 defensive linemen, whatever it is, 6, 7, I don't know how to keep. To me, is getting the axe. He's got opportunities. He hasn't done anything with them. I think he's got to go. And I think Jaylen Holmes is a guy who's going to find a new Holmes next year.
Well, I'm surprised you even think he'll find a new Holmes. But the only reason I got Holmes still making this team is because he's still very cheap, and he can play not only the defensive tackle, but he can play defensive end. He might not play him great, but he adds some depth.
Yeah.
Defensive end, we need depth. We see these guys. We got some young guys there. So Jaylen Holmes adding that depth along the entire line makes him a little bit of a commodity for me.
I know 2 chords, and I can still technically play guitar, but I don't do it very well.
No.
And Jaylen Holmes is in the same boat.
You can't play the guitar.
I know a couple chords, so technically I can.
All right, let's go to another rookie from last year, KJ Osborne, who was brought in, looked as a guy who could just be maybe a return specialist. Well, it turns out we drafted like 48 of those guys this year. KJ Osborne, this is going to be an easy one. He's out. He's out.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the big point. We drafted so many more guys that are in the same boat who can have return skills. Look at the running back we took in the 4th round. Look at Smith Marset. The competition is going to be way more fierce this year. KJ Osborne had his chances last year. He showed absolutely nothing. No burst, no wiggle, no nothing. There's no way in hell he's going to ever take another snap in purple.
Oh my God, what if the Ravens sign him?
Okay, well, I mean, I guess when I say purple, I'm talking the beautiful purple, the lovely. I know what you call that, a true purple. I'm gonna call it a true purple.
It's just purple. It's just purple. That's all there is to it. And KJ Osborne, after we drafted him, I actually am like, what the hell? Let's go look at a little bit of what this guy. I got a little bit excited about him. He actually looked like a decent receiver. Vikings didn't even give him any opportunity at the receiver position. So clearly he is looked at when it comes to the Vikings as just a return guy. He is donezo. Those are our 5 guys. Let us know in the comments. Who do you think played their last snap as a Viking? Throw something in there controversial. Let's see something a little crazy.
I like that. And here's something that's a little controversial too. In 2012, a farmer in Nepal was bitten by a cobra. In response, he ran home to get a torch, tracked down that fucking cobra, and he bit him back. The cobra died, and he survived.
Guy sounds insane.